Okay. Okay. Back to me. So anyway, Sarah Bareilles, who wrote that song, is that how you say that name? Sarah Bareilles? Bareilles. Thank you for the water. Ellis. Okay, so I consider her a modern-day poet. Her songs say such amazing things, and most of our poetry these days come from lyricists. There's a line in the beginning of the song that I want to start with today, which is, she sings, "I'm stuck under the ceiling I made." Anyone relating? I'm stuck under a ceiling I made. So my question is, where's your ceiling? How high is your ceiling? And I know I've talked about this before, but you know, the first Sunday of the new year, it's a perfect time to take a look at, where's your ceiling? Where is it that you think you can only get to? You're an unlimited being. You are an infinite possibility in the universe, who should not even have a ceiling. So it's kind of important to ask ourselves, where is your ceiling? Because your ceiling is actually your self-imposed limits based on your self-imposed beliefs. So your ceiling is where it is because you believe what you believe. And just so you know, you can believe anything you want. You are not the belief, you are the believer. So here we are at the top of a new year. It's time to say, let's wipe it clean in 2015. Get rid of all the beliefs that don't serve us. Figure out, what do I still believe about this world? What do I believe about me? Am I possible? And I am. But are you possible? Asking yourself individually, am I possible? Is everything possible for me? So, and we need to shake things up. And I'm going to mention him. He's going to come up and talk a little bit about his class later, but Reverend Mark Anthony Lord, who's sitting right there, just wave your hand. Yeah. This man I so admire. Talk about, wiping the slate clean in 2015. Bodhi Center in Chicago is one of the most successful, most vibrant, most amazing ministries that this man founded. And he just decided it was time, and he walked away from it, leaving it in great hands, knowing he had a slate to clean and create something new. And I'm so grateful that he's here sharing his incredible gifts with us, and you'll hear more about that later. But that's what I'm asking you to do. You may think, there you are, this big successful church that's vibrant and what a great platform, and you understand in your soul, it's time to move on, do something else. So where's your ceiling, and where's it's time to move on. It's time to do something else, be something else. It's a new year. It's a chance for each one of us to get rid of our ceilings. So another lyric in the song is, "I'm out of foolproof ideas." Is there such a thing as a foolproof idea? Well, no, there's not. And here's the thing about that. So I have 3 questions for you. 1, and answer these for yourself. Do you wait until something seems foolproof before doing it? That's number 1. Number 2, do you wait to start something until you know the outcome in advance? Who said no? Good for you. Last question. Do you trust yourself? You said no again? That was joking. Yes, and no. So, do you trust yourself? And I'd like you to take yourself and split it in half. Yourself with a capital S. Do you trust the thing inside of you that literally allows you to decide what you decide? When ideas come to you, do you go with that idea and then inform the universe, I am going for this, so universe, your job is to bring everything in to make it happen? Or, thank you, Cece. Or, do you say, here's my idea. Oh, you don't want to do that? Maybe I don't. My mother thinks it's a terrible idea. My husband, and she's dead. Love that, Dana. My mother said it was a terrible idea, and she died years ago. Do you listen to you, or do you listen to everything outside of you? Do you trust yourself? Another lyric in there is, don't ask me how to get started. It's all uncharted. I love the idea of uncharted. I love the idea of not knowing what's going to be next, and yet knowing that what's going to be next is going to be amazing. You see the difference? It can be scary not to know what's next. But when you come from a trust in yourself that says, I know who I am, I know what I am, I know where I am, when you're there, you don't have to know. It can be uncharted now because you do know what it's going to be. Uncharted means this, not recorded on a map or a plan, the unknown. So, here we are, coming clean in 2015. I loved what Karen just did because she came clean in 2015. She came clean. She talked about her holidays and feeling, angry and getting impatient and all of that stuff. And here's the thing. We can't walk around. I find in this science very often the speakers that work for me are the speakers that get up, come clean because they have an answer to what has happened. It's not that they're bearing their souls to us and telling us all the problems they have. That is boring. But to come clean because you got it, you have a point of view, you know what you think, you know where you should have gone, and you didn't. Oh well, I'll do it next time. Right? Karen's like, no, I'll probably do that again. So that's what it's all about, coming clean. Know who you have been, but know who you are. Do you get that? Know who you have been, but know who you are. Because who you are trumps who you have been. And who you are sets the stage for what you will experience. Notice I didn't say who you will be. You're never going to change. You're always going to be perfect. Now, you as a perfect being get to experience whatever you decide to experience. Ernest Holmes said this, and I used this a few weeks ago. We hold the chalk and the eraser in our hands, but are ignorant of the fact. Coming clean in 2015, I see myself just erasing that whole blackboard that thinks it knows about me, that thinks it knows what I want, that thinks it knows what I'm here to do, that thinks it knows what's mine, what's the best use of me. Clean it. Just wipe the slate clean. And then allow whatever needs to come through, and then have the audacity, as it says in this, I live my truth, and dare to be my greatest self. Have the audacity to actually listen to what's coming through you. And then do it now. The title of my talk today is, What Will You Write This Year? I'm so grateful Johanna gave us a great meditation that was all about that. What will you write this year? What will you write? What will you allow yourself to write? From the song, I won't go as a passenger, waiting for the road to be laid. How many of you are still the passengers of your life? How many of you are still sitting in the back seat, letting something else drive your life? For me, there are 3 categories in the journey of life. Number 1 is the driver. Number 2 is the passenger. And then there's that third person, the navigator. In the past, they've been called the backseat driver. But now I like to think of that person as the navigator. So I want you to ask yourself, which one are you? Are you the driver? Are you the passenger? Or are you the navigator? And which one do you think it would be most beneficial to be? What do you think? Yell it out. Navigator. You all said navigator? Driver. Who said driver? Raise your hand. Drivers, navigators, passengers. All of the above. Well, at different points in your life, you're going to be one of them. So here's what I'd like to suggest. My answer will be navigator, and here's why. The driver is God, always driving me forward, always driving life. And when I say God, I mean energy, life force, whatever you call this thing that you are. And it is what you are. So my job is to navigate this amazing energy, to take all that I am and focus it and say, okay, and I don't have to focus it in just one area. I can focus it here, but tomorrow I may focus it here. So I am navigating at all times this driving force inside of me. The only thing I don't want to be is the passenger in that relationship that I'm explaining here. Because when you're the passenger, you're really being taken, and I'm willing to be taken by this energy and this creativity, but I want to be the mental acumen that actually focuses it and says, here's mine, this is me, this is mine to do right now. Do y'all get that? So, another lyric is, I may be going down, but I'll take flame over burning out. Yeah, think about that. I had to think about that. I may be going down, but I'll take flame over burning out. Something that has come up lately with a lot of people talking to me is that they're feeling burned out. They're burned out for many, many reasons. But I can tell you this. I'm not burned out. I don't feel burned out. And I probably work 80 hours a week. I do. But I love what I do. See, it's hard to burn out when you love what you do. It's easy to burn out when you're not doing what you love. Then burnout's inevitable. But when you love what you do, you don't burn out. As I said, this year, my intention, no more resolutions or any of that. My intention this year is to be happy. That's it. Be happy. And if I am not happy, I take myself out of it. If I can't put my heart in it, I take myself out of it. So if I can't put my happy in it, I take my happy out of it and celebrate it somewhere else. So, burnout. You know the worst kind of burnout there is? Unfulfilled dreams. That burns you out. Carrying around your unfulfilled dreams your whole life can burn you out. It gets exhausting. And what most people do when they carry around their unfulfilled dreams is they end up compromising them and deciding on something else because they can't have it. But you know what happens with that unfulfilled dream then? It's still there. It is that thing in you that never happened, that never worked, that didn't happen the way you wanted it to happen. So I'm here to tell you today, wipe the slate clean, and if a dream comes forward, whether it was fulfilled or not in the past, everything you need to make that dream fulfilled is right here available to you, because that's who you are. And you get to navigate this dream energy, this energy that's in you saying, yes, that's what it is. You get to navigate that. You have the chalk, so what are you waiting for? You have the chalk. What are you waiting for? That new career? That new relationship? That new body? What are you waiting for? What do you want in this new year? What's the new that is calling out to you, Dr. Seuss? So here's a question. I just became part of a mastermind group that met yesterday for the first time, and it was just 3 hours of heaven. It was just brilliant. I'm not going to share who's in this mastermind group because I want it to be private, but I will share it. We have agreed to share a lot of what comes forward with us positively that we can bring forward. And this is the question that came to me yesterday. And I don't know that this came up, but I wrote it down because it came to me, which is this. Do you know yourself by what you can do or what you can't do? Do you know yourself by what you can do or what you can't do? What you did do or what you didn't do? What you want to do or what you are doing? It's pretty important to understand how we know ourselves, because how you know yourself is what you are informing the universe your life should be like, what your life should unfold. If you know yourself as someone who didn't quite do what you wanted to do, you're constantly telling the universe that. So how do you know yourself? Do you know yourself by what you can do or what you say you can't do? And it was funny because somebody brought snorkeling up to me recently and said to me, they said, I never thought of you as someone who there was anything you couldn't do. And so I want to make sure that everybody's very clear. I never said I couldn't snorkel. I can snorkel. It will be torturous to me to snorkel, but I choose not to snorkel. That's how I know myself. I don't know myself as someone who can't snorkel. I know myself as someone who hates snorkeling. So I'm just not snorkeling. And that's what I'm asking you to look at today. How do you know yourself? Do you know yourself as someone who never did this thing you always wanted to do? You're going to carry that to your grave? Or you're going to know yourself as, okay, I didn't do it. Do I still want to do it? Yes, I'm doing it now. I have decided to go back and take piano lessons because I have been a hackneyed pianist my entire life. I play, and anybody who's ever had to sing while I'm playing knows, thank you, Dana, knows that it's hard to follow me. You have to be a brilliant singer who doesn't hear what you're hearing to follow me. Although I think I sound great to me. So I accompany myself well. But you know what I said? As I was putting this talk together, I was like, oh my God, I see myself as a hackneyed piano player. That's who I see myself as. So you know what? Okay, that's what I can say, that's what was, and now I'm going to become a great piano player. Why not? So why not at 60? If I don't do it at 60, I'll be 70 saying, I should have taken those piano lessons. Just think how good I'd been by 70. Or 61, because I'm a fast learner. So that's what I'm asking you to look at today. Do you know yourself by what you are capable of? That's really the most important question. So are you okay wiping the blackboard of your life clean and coming clean in 2015, which also means being honest with yourself? Really being honest. Here's who I've been. Here's who I know myself to be. And that's where I'm going forward. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, write it down that every day is the best day of the year. That's what we need to write. Every day is the best day of the year. Uncharted doesn't mean that you don't know where you're going. To be really clear about that. Uncharted doesn't mean you don't know where you're going. You are going with an energetic flow that is taking you to you. So your life can be uncharted, and you can be the navigator of this amazing journey you are on. But it really is time for you to blow the ceiling out of your life. It's time for you to get rid of that ceiling. No less than what you think you know. No less of the facts. No less of all that stuff that brought you here. Unless it's beneficial. But once you know it, once the benefit is over, let go of it. Don't hold on to it forever. It really is time for us all to come clean and really step into living our truth. And the truth for me is that right where I am, everything is possible. And I trust that life is going to unfold. I thought I was going to come in here today and literally share where we were going for this space that I've been so excited about. But that space did not come through for me. And don't do awe. Let's do it once. Okay, so, because let's face it, I had that moment. I was like, what? Really? You're kidding. I get everything I want. And then, yeah. But then I remembered to bevel my foot, like I was in a 1920s musical, to remember my life is unfolding perfectly. If this didn't come through, it's because the better place is coming through. That's the way it works. And I can take the moment to go, aw, I already did the whole ground plan of how I'm breaking this whole space down. So what? Now I have a ground plan for the next space. So that's what we have to be willing to do. And we have to be willing to wipe the slate clean, even on ideas that we're so certain of, but if it unfolds in a different way, wipe it clean. Because God knows if I now walk around this city looking for that space somewhere else, what am I doing? I am limiting the universe. Who knows? They may want me doing services in SeaWorld next. I don't know. You know, or who knows? We may be doing services in a bar on a Friday night. I don't know. Life is totally possible. It's uncharted, but I know this. It may be uncharted, but I am the navigator. So bring it on, and that's what I'm asking you all to do this year. Say to yourself, bring on everything. Because guess what? If you open the floodgates of the divine that is in you, really open the floodgates and say, bring it all on. I'm not afraid to hear it all. I'm not afraid to feel it all. I'm not afraid to live it all. I'm not afraid to sing them all. I'm not afraid to just bring it on, and then, once it's all here, navigate it. And say, and now here's what I know. And then you will find that 2015, you will not only wipe the slate clean, you will be living your truth, and I guarantee your life is going to literally explode in possibility, because that's what this year is all about. Namaste. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.